cup is almost empty of its golden little glow. The street outside is quiet and the clock is moving slow. A blanket on the sofa, a cup beside the chair. The room has held the evening with a softer kind of air. I do not need to finish every thought before I rest. Some things can stay folded on the table by my chest. Tomorrow can wait. By the window, by the door, I have done enough breathing for one evening, maybe more. Tomorrow can wait. With its shoes out in the hall, tonight I only need to let the quiet fall. The ceiling holds the shadows like a slow and gentle tide. The pillow keeps its corner where the low light used to lie. I leave the page unfinished with the pen still open wide. Not every little sentence has to know where it will arrive. I do not need the morning to come and make it clear. The room is warm enough now and the night is staying near. Tomorrow can wait. By the window, by the door, I have held enough silence for one evening, maybe more. Tomorrow can wait. With its list out in the hall, tonight I only need to let the quiet fall. If the day comes knocking, I will meet it when I can. Not with perfect answers, not with everything planned. For now the light is lower and the room is breathing slow. I let the hour carry what I do not need to know. Tomorrow can wait. By the window, by the door, I have done enough breathing for one evening, maybe more. Tomorrow can wait. With its shoes out in the hall, tonight I only need to let the quiet fall. The lamp stays low, the room stays late. I close the book, tomorrow can wait.
Sits by the window with a softer kind of face. The lamp along the corner makes a little golden space. A plate beside the sink, a towel on the chair. The room is still familiar, but easier to bear. I do not need the morning to tell me I am fine. Some hours grow gentle when I give them time. When the night feels kind, I can loosen my hands, let the quiet move around me like a slow and simple dance. When the night feels kind, I do not need to run. I can sit inside the low light and let the moment come. Street below is sleeping with its windows turning gold. Somebody laughs far away, then the air goes soft and slow. I watch the curtain moving like it knows a better way. Not to push the feeling, just to let it have its place. I do not need to name it, I do not need it clear. Some comfort comes quietly when nothing pulls me near. When the night feels kind, I can leave the day behind. Not because it changes, but because it gives me time. When the night feels kind, I do not need to know where the hours are taking me. I only let them go. There is a small warmth in the glass beside the wall. There is a soft rhythm in the hallway after all. I am not rushing forward, I am not turning back. I am only here breathing where the room does not ask. When the night feels kind, I can loosen my hands, let the quiet move around me like a slow and simple dance. When the night feels kind, I do not need to run. I can sit inside the low light and let the moment come. The window stays warm, the room stays wide. I breathe in slowly when the night feels kind.
The phone is on the table with the screen turned down. The room keeps its small rhythm without another sound. A note beside the window stays folded where it is. I do not move toward it, I only let it sit. I don't have to answer, not tonight, not right away. The hour can move slowly, and I can let it stay. The cup beside my fingers has cooled into the night. A line of quiet lamplight rests across the white. I used to fill the silence with words I tried to find. Now I leave the space open and give it a little time. I don't have to answer, not every bell needs me. Some moments become softer when I let them simply be. A car goes past the building, then the street grows plain. I hear the little wooden floor settle in its frame. There is no heavy meaning in the way the curtains fall, just the evening moving quietly around the room and all. I can leave the question where it found me. I can leave the sentence halfway through. I can sit beside the quiet without turning it to something new. I don't have to answer, not tonight, not right away. The hour can move slowly, and I can let it stay. I don't have to answer, not every thought needs light. I sit inside the quiet and let the room hold night. The phone stays low, the cup stays near. I breathe once more and leave it here.
Somewhere under the silence, there is a room I almost know. A folded blanket on the chair, a lamp with a gentle glow. The night moves through the ceiling like a hand across the air. I listen without reaching and leave the feeling there. I do not need to name it, I do not need it clear. Some hours feel much lighter when I let them simply near. Somewhere under the silence, I can hear the quiet breathe, not asking me for reasons, not asking me to leave. Somewhere under the silence, there is room enough for me. I let the moment widen softly underneath. A towel by the window holds the pale street light in. The floor is cool beneath me, the air is soft and thin. I count the little shadows moving slowly on the wall, not because they matter, but because they asked for nothing at all. I do not need a doorway, I do not need a plan. Some nights become kinder when I stop where I am. Somewhere under the silence, I can hear the quiet breathe, not asking me for reasons, not asking me to leave. Somewhere under the silence, there is room enough to stay. I let the moment soften in its ordinary way. If the room keeps still, I will be still too. If the hour moves slowly, I will move slowly through. There is no need to gather every thought into a line. Some things are easier when they are given time. Somewhere under the silence, I can hear the quiet breathe. asking me for reasons, not asking me to leave. Somewhere under the silence, there is room enough for me. I let the moment widen softly underneath. A little room, a little light, the quiet stays, and so do I.
I put my bag by the doorway and left my shoes untied. The evening moved around me with no reason to hide. A shirt across the sofa, a glass beside the sink. The room was still the same room, but I could almost think not everything was better, not everything was clear, but something in the quiet felt a little less near. The weight gets smaller, not gone, just not as wide. Like a shadow on the carpet moving with the light. The day gets softer around the edges of my mind. I breathe a little easier, one moment at a time. The kettle clicked behind me, the window held the street. A neighbor closed a car door somewhere underneath. I watched the little motions that nobody would keep, and somehow all the noise inside fell farther out of reach. I do not need a reason for the hour to feel kind. Some rooms make more space when I give them enough time. The weight gets smaller, not gone, just not as loud. Like the room has opened without making a sound. The night gets softer around the edges of my mind. I breathe a little easier, one moment at a time. I am not rushing forward, I am not standing still. I am just here listening to the quiet windowsill. There is a small permission in the way the minutes move. Nothing has to turn around for me to feel the room. The weight gets smaller, not gone, just not as wide. Like a shadow on the carpet moving with the light. The day gets softer around the edges of my mind. I breathe a little easier, one moment at a time. One cup, one light, one breath, one quiet night.
Warm tea on the table, small light on the wall. The evening moves in circles, soft enough for all. A sweater on the chair back, a notebook open wide. The room is not in a hurry, and neither am I. Warm tea on the table, one quiet hour to keep. The window holds the evening, the room moves slowly. Steam above the cup rim fades into the air. I watch it for a moment without going anywhere. A line of golden lamplight rests across the floor. I let the little silence make the room feel warm. Warm tea on the table, one quiet hour to keep. The window holds the evening, the room moves slowly. No hurry in the hallway, no list beside the door. Just the sound of water and the cup I reach for. The city turns to amber beyond the window frame. Everything feels softer when I do not need a name. Warm tea on the table, my hands around the glass. The evening does not ask me to move too fast. A little room around me, a little time to stay. The lamp keeps glowing gently in its ordinary way. Warm tea on the table, one quiet hour to keep. The window holds the evening, the room moves slowly. Warm tea on the table, soft light across the floor. I sit inside the quiet and need nothing more. Warm tea, soft light, one room, one night.
I left the room behind me with the lamp still burning low. The hallway smelled like rain from an hour ago. My jacket on my shoulders, my keys inside my hand. I did not have a reason, I just needed somewhere to stand. The street was almost empty and the signs were turning blue. I let the city move around me without asking what to do. Let the world go by, I do not have to follow. Let the headlights fade down the quiet road. I keep walking slowly with nothing to decide. For a little while tonight, I let the world go by. The store across the corner had its shutters halfway down. Someone swept the sidewalk without making any sound. The air was cool and simple, the sky was almost gray. I watched my breath move forward, then disappear away. I do not need to answer every shadow in my mind. Some thoughts lose their voices when I give them enough time. Let the world go by. I do not need to hurry, let the morning wait. Behind the quiet road, I keep walking slowly, with my hands at my side for a little while tonight. I let the world go by. If the night keeps moving, I will move at my own pace, not trying to be better, not trying to leave this place. There is comfort in the pavement and the windows going dark. There is room inside the silence for a tired little heart. Let the world go by. I do not have to follow. Let the headlights fade down the quiet road. I keep walking slowly, with nothing to decide, for a little while tonight. I let the world go by. The street stays wide, the night moves slow. I breathe it in and let it go. I stepped outside the hallway with my sweater around my hands.
The night was not much brighter, but it did not make demands.
The stair beneath the railing held the quiet from the street.
And for the first time all day,
I could hear myself breathe. Maybe I was tired from holding up the sky. Maybe I was only needing somewhere small tonight.
give me a small place to breathe, not a reason to be strong,
just a little bit of silence where I
do not feel so wrong. Give me a small place to stay while the night moves under me.
I am not looking for an answer,
just a small place to breathe. A window across the building had a lamp still burning low.
Someone moved behind the curtain like a shadow moving slow.
The world was still outside me,
but it felt farther away, like a wave beyond the pavement
that forgot to call my name.
Nothing had to vanish, nothing had to turn. I could sit beside the feeling without
asking what it meant. Give me a small place to breathe, not a door I have to close,
just a little room around me where the
heavy feeling goes. Give me a small place to stay while the street light touches me.
I am not trying to be better,
just a small place to breathe.
If the sadness comes beside me,
I will not make it leave.
I will let it sit there quietly,
With its hands upon its knees.
if the morning asks too much,
I will answer when I can.
for now the night is holding what I cannot understand.
Give me a small place to breathe, not a reason to be strong.
Just a little bit of silence where I
Do not feel so wrong. Give me a small place to stay while the night moves under me.
I am not looking for an answer,
Just a small place to breathe. I stare below the doorway,
a quiet little street.
the night does not fix me, but it gives me room to breathe. I sat beside the window with both hands on my knees. The night was moving slowly through the spaces between. A shirt across the doorway, a cup beside the light. The room kept getting softer as I gave up being right. I do not need to follow every road inside my head. Some thoughts become quieter when I leave them where they are. I forgot what I was holding for a minute, maybe more. The weight became a shadow that I left beside the door. I forgot what needed fixing, what I came here trying to find. The room was almost empty, and so was my mind. The street light on the curtain made a line across the floor. I watched it without meaning and did not ask for more. A message stayed unanswered, but it did not pull me in. The silence held the evening like a coat against my skin. I do not have to carry every feeling to its name. Some things lose their edges when I stop holding the frame. I forgot what I was holding for a minute, maybe more. The ache became a whisper, I could barely hear it all. I forgot what needed saving, what I thought I had to hide. The night was breathing gently on the other side. If the heaviness returns, I will not push it away. I will give it room beside me and let it lose its shape. There is nothing I must finish, nothing I must understand. Only this slow light around me and the quiet in my hands. I forgot what I was holding for a minute, maybe more. The weight became a shadow that I left beside the door. I forgot what needed fixing, what I came here trying to find. The room was almost empty, and so was my mind. The light stays low, the night is kind. I loosen my hands and empty my mind.
Soft light on the ceiling, heavy day on the floor. I sit beside the silence and ask for nothing more. My jacket holds the doorway, my keys are near the bed. The room keeps breathing slowly around the things unsaid. I do not have to lift it all the way tonight. Some weight can stay beside me under this low light. Soft light, heavy day, I let the evening stay. Nothing has to open, nothing has to fade away. I breathe a little slower with the shadows on the wall. And for a little while I do not carry it all. A message waits unanswered where the table meets the shade. I know the world is moving, but I let it move away. The window holds the city in a quieter kind of blue. I do not need to follow every feeling coming through. I do not need a reason for the room to feel this kind. Some nights are only shelter for a tired state of mind. Soft light, heavy day, I let the noise fall away. Nothing to make brighter, nothing I need to say. I breathe a little slower where the quiet touches all. And for a little while I do not carry it all. If I cannot name it, I will leave it unnamed. If I cannot fix it, I will not call it shame. There is no grand answer inside this quiet room, only the small permission to stop moving too soon. Soft light, heavy day, I let the evening stay. Nothing has to open, nothing has to fade away. I breathe a little slower with the shadows on the wall. And for a little while I do not carry it all. The light stays low, the room stays near. I close my eyes and leave it here.
I left the dishes waiting in the sink without a sound. The evening did not blame me, it only settled down. My jacket on the doorway, my shoes beside the chair. The room kept all my pieces and did not ask me where. I do not have to turn this into something I can name. Some nights are only softer when I stop trying to change. No need to be okay, not every hour has to mend. I can sit inside the quiet and let the whole day end. No need to find the answer, no need to make it bright. I can be this tired and still be here tonight. A message on the table stays unread for now. The clock keeps moving forward, but I do not follow how. I used to hold my breathing like I had to prove I tried. Now I let the silence make a little room inside. I do not need to measure how far I fell today. Some weight becomes behind. If tomorrow wants an answer, it can wait outside the door. I am not a problem, I am just a little warm. There is no perfect healing, no clean and easy way. Only this slow lamp glowing in the breath I take today. No need to be okay, not every hour has to mend. I can sit inside the quiet and let the whole day end. No need to find the answer, no need to make it right. I can be this tired and still be here tonight. The light stays low, the room is still. I do not have to until I will.
Rain on the window draws lines I do not read. The room is almost silent, except the sound I need. A lamp beside the corner keeps the ceiling warm. I let the night come closer without asking what it's for. I do not have to follow every thought that comes to stay. Some of them move softer when the rain gets in the way. Rain on the window, I can let the world go by. Nothing needs an answer, nothing has to be alright. I sit inside the weather with the quiet moving slow, and everything feels farther than it did an hour ago. A book lies on the table, open where I stop. The clock keeps moving forward, but I do not watch it much. The street below is fading through the silver on the glass. I let the evening gather, and I let the minutes pass. I do not need to name it, I do not need to know why the heart feels lighter when the outside world moves slow. Rain on the window, I can leave the day behind. Nothing to hold together, nothing I need to find. I sit inside the weather while the room begins to breathe, and the noise inside me loosens like water down the street. If tomorrow comes too early, I will meet it from this chair. If the morning asks for something, I will answer when I'm there. For now the rain is enough, and the low light on the wall. For now I do not need to be anything at all. Rain on the window, I can let the world go by. Nothing needs an answer, nothing has to be alright. I sit inside the weather with the quiet moving slow, and and everything feels softer than it did an hour ago. The rain stays low, the room stays kind. I close my eyes with nothing on my mind.
2, 3. I pulled the blanket higher and let the ceiling stay. The light beside the doorway looks softer than the day. My thoughts were moving slowly like weather through the room. I did not try to stop them, I only gave them room. I do not need a reason to set the evening down. Some hours are still breathing even when they make no sound. I'll stay here for a while, where the night is not too loud, where nothing has to happen, where I do not have to be found. I'll let the window darken, I'll let the streetlights line the quiet around my shoulders until I feel less tired. Sweater on the table, a book I did not read. The cup beside the curtain has cooled enough for me. I used to call it wasting when I had no strength to move. Now I call it resting inside a smaller truth. I do not need to answer what the mirror tries to say. Some parts of me come closer when I let the world away. I'll stay here for a while, with the rain against the glass, with nothing to get over, with nowhere I need to pass. I'll let the room hold steady, I'll let the night be kind. The quiet is not empty when it gives me back my mind. If tomorrow waits outside, I will meet it when I can. If my heart is moving slowly, I will not make it stand. There is no need to hurry, there is no better place than this small room around me and this ordinary grace. I'll stay here for a while, where the night is not too loud, where nothing has to happen, where I do not have to be found. I'll let the window darken, I'll let the streetlights line the quiet around my shoulders until I feel less tired. The room stays low, the night stays mild. I close my eyes and stay here for a while.
Feels quiet now, like it knows I need the space. A coat across the chair, a shadow on the frame. The hallway light is fading, but I do not turn it on. I let the evening settle where the noise is gone. I do not have to follow every thought around the room. Some days become softer when they do not have to move. The room feels quiet, and I can stay this way. Nothing to hold together, nothing I need to say. The world can keep on turning outside the window line. I breathe a little slower and leave the rest behind. A glass beside the table catches half the streetlight glow. The clock keeps moving forward, but it does not need to show. I used to fill the silence with reasons I could name. Now I let the quiet stand beside me without blame. I do not need to measure how heavy I have been. Some weight becomes smaller when the night is let in. The room feels quiet, and I can let it be. Nothing to make better, nothing to ask of me. The world can keep on moving beyond the curtain light. I breathe a little deeper and loosen for the night. If I am not okay yet, I will not call it wrong. I will sit inside the stillness until the hour moves on. There is no need for meaning, no reason to explain. Just a little room around me and the window after rain. The room feels quiet, and I can stay this way. Nothing to hold together, nothing I need to say. The world can keep on turning outside the window line. I breathe a little slower and leave the rest behind. The light stays low, the street grows kind. The room feels quiet, and so does my mind.
I left the light on low beside the quiet chair. The room did not ask questions, it only held the air. My phone stayed on the table, face down, out of sight. The window kept its silence and the street moved through the night. I do not need to answer every thought that passes by. Some things can loosen slowly when I stop asking why. Nothing on my mind, just the room and the rain. Just a little softer breathing where I do not need a name. Nothing to explain, nothing I have to find. I let the evening hold me with nothing on my mind. A cup beside the window has gone from warm to still. The clock keeps moving gently like it knows I've had my fill. I used to chase the meaning through every tired line. Now I let the quiet take its ordinary time. I do not have to carry what the day forgot to say. Some weight becomes smaller when I let it drift away. Nothing on my mind, just the room and the rain. Just the sound of my own breathing coming back to me again. Nothing to become, nothing I need to hide. I let the evening pass me with nothing on my mind. keeps turning. Let it turn outside the door. I am not disappearing. I am only needing more space inside the silence, more room beneath the light. More time to feel the edges of a heavy day grow quiet. Nothing on my mind, just the room and the rain. Just a little softer breathing where I do not need a name. Nothing to explain, nothing I have to find. I let the evening hold me with nothing. Stays low, the room is kind. I close my